can hear this right now, you are hearing the sound of my voice. Hello, world, and welcome to the Pursuit of What podcast. I am your host, Nathan Oshie, and I'm terrified to be doing this right now. I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to this, to watch this, or however you are consuming this content, wherever you are, whenever you are. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope that you'll come along for this ride and watch these episodes and take things from it and share it with other people and share the messages that we're trying to get out there and have a good time with us. I want this to turn into a big thing, and we're going to take our time with it. It's a lot of work, as I've been realizing, and I'm now recording this episode for the third time in a row without trying to stop. But we're here. We've made it. This is the unofficial first episode. This is episode 00. And the reason I'm doing that is we have episodes and I have some guests lined up for the shows that I'll be doing here through the fall. We're going to be doing episodes once a month until I can kind of get a better scope on if it's possible to do 2 a month and how much the workload's going to be for me. But for now, we're making this episode so that I can have something online and that our Spotify and Apple accounts can formulate content so that you can find those pages and share them with other people and that they are searchable for the rest of the world and the internet to find. This has been a long time coming, and there's a lot of history behind the name of this show and where it came from. When I decided I was going to really do this, I thought that I was going to come up with a new name for the show, and I toyed with a few different ideas, and I kind of bounced the ideas off of different people, and everything that we came up with and that I came up with just wasn't really hitting. And every time it came down to it, the pursuit of what was always there in the back of my head. I used to live in Los Angeles, and when I was out there, YouTubing was getting really big, and I had this sort of motivated, inspired thought in the back of my head that I was going to be a YouTuber while trying to pursue my career in the film industry. Because of where I was in life at the time, what I was dealing with, I had some mental health and depression issues that I was working through, and that I still work through every day. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of time-consuming work, and I so badly wanted to do it, but it was just too much and adding too much stress in my life that I had to kind of put it to the side and, just let it go for the time being. But I moved back to Pittsburgh, started things over, got my career going again, and I've had a lot of downtime now since we've been out of work. And for those of you that do know me, yes, I work in the film industry, and Hollywood has been shut down since the beginning of May due to the writers and actors strike that is going on. It's been a nice vacation, but it would also be nice to be working right now. But because of that, the camera temperature is rising. Side note, hopefully it doesn't stop recording or shut off, so we're going to try to make this quick. Anyhow, because of this strike, I've had a lot of downtime. I've had a lot of time to think about what I want for my life and my future and where I see my career going, but also thinking about a lot of the things that I've wanted to do and haven't done and that I've been thinking about for years, and I decided it was time to actually do something. So if I didn't mention this already, I want to do these episodes in a way that it's organic and raw and honest and fun, and that I'm not having to cut things and edit the episodes so that you're getting the purest form of storytelling. But the camera was just overheating, so I had to stop recording and do it again. And the reality is right now, I'm doing this by myself. I'm honestly terrified to be talking in front of a camera and trying to do this sort of in one full pass without being scripted, without having any sort of guidance for myself. So I'm going to have to cut things around a little bit. I'm sorry. We'll get better at this as time goes on. So a bit of a brief history on why this show is happening now and the reasons why it's happening now, why I'm sitting here talking to cameras, why I'm super nervous talking into a mic. I've had a lot of free time and downtime in the last few months. And for those that don't know the gist of what my work and daily work entails, I work on movies, major motion pictures. I work on movies, major motion pictures, television shows, and since the end of April, beginning of May, the Writers Union and the Actors Union has been on strike, which also means all of Hollywood is shut down and we are out of work and unemployed. So it's been kind of scary. I hope that they are able to reach an agreement soon so that we can go back to work. But it's also been sort of a blessing because it's forced me to go back in the freelance world, and it's given me the time to evaluate what's going on in my life and where I want my future to go and what I want to be doing in the next 10 years. And it's also had me kind of return to a lot of these crazy creative ideas that I've come up with over time and tell myself I'm going to do these things and I never do them. And the podcast and the Pursuit of What has always been burning in the back of my head, and it was time to do it. There was no better time to do it than now, while I have the opportunity to try to get this thing off the ground, to see where it goes, have a good time, meet really cool people, and I'm just really excited to be doing it. It's going to be a wild ride, and this is such a learning process. I thought making a podcast would be a lot easier than it is, but I also have set a really high bar for what I want it to be. So, it's kind of, what's the saying, two in one hand, a dozen in the other, whatever it is. It is easy, but I'm making it hard because I'm super critical of the work that I do. And I just want it to be good. I want people to enjoy listening to it. I want people to be inspired by it, to learn something from it, to get something from every episode that they can take with them throughout the future stages of their life and their daily lives, and be able to share it with people and turn this into a really cool community of storytelling. I've done a lot of different stuff in my life, and I'm involved in a lot of different activities, and I have tons of different passions and hobbies and activities that I do. I've had different jobs. I used to think that it was sort of a flaw that I never chose one specific thing and focused on that and said, you know what, this is what I want to do. I'm going to be at the best at this thing, and I'm going to commit all of my time and my energy on this one thing. I'm going to develop the skills. I'm going to be the greatest at it. I'm going to learn the most. This is it. This is the one thing. I was too afraid to let go of the other passions that I had or the hobbies that I had to focus on one thing. But I've realized that it's not actually a flaw. And all of the things that I've done, whether it be racing BMX or mountain biking or snowboarding or working at a go-kart park or doing social media or musicals, dancing, whatever the thing that it was that I did, has taught me so much. And I would not be the person that I am today without any of those things. And that's why I continue to do all of the things that I do, because every day I'm learning something new about them, and it's helping to guide me closer and closer, hopefully, to what it is I want out of life. And the Pursuit of What sort of encompasses that. I think it's both beautiful to have done a lot of different things, and also for the people that have just focused on one activity or whatever it is and committed to one thing, because that takes a lot of sacrifice and patience to do those things. And we wouldn't have the great people in the world that we have today without them doing that. And either way you go about life, whether you sort of stay involved in all the multiple things that you do versus focusing on just one thing, that's why the Pursuit of What exists. It's sort of to bring all of those sides, bring all of those things together into a space for everyone to hear about it, to learn, to grow together. Somebody had commented on a video today that I had posted, my friend Dave, and he said how he tells a lot of people that he's just sort of stumbling through life and still figuring it all out. And that was a really good statement, and it stuck with me. And that's really what this is. I think a lot of us are just sort of, we know what we want and we know where we're going, and we are all on a path or a mountain or whatever that journey it is we're on. And we're heading somewhere that's going to be great, but we're sort of stumbling along the way and figuring it out. And we're always going to be figuring it out. Life is about learning, and we never stop learning. We never stop making mistakes. We never stop teaching ourselves and teaching others and experiencing things. And that's why the show's happening. A few weeks ago, I went to see a movie with my girlfriend, and it's the first time that I had been to a theater in a while. We had gone to the formerly Regal Cinemas in Butler, which is by my parents' house. It's my favorite theater to go to. I think it's now a Movie Scoop. But I love it because you go in and there's, they have the neon still up, and it's decorated the exact same way it was when it opened, I don't know, maybe in the 80s or 90s. And it's such an amazing experience, when you go to theater and you walk in the door and you smell the popcorn and the ticket booth people, they hand you your tickets and you get your snacks and you sit down and you get to escape the world for the next hour or 3 in our case, because Oppenheimer is incredibly long, but it was worth it. There were so many people there, and I feel like I haven't seen that, since before COVID happened. And this isn't about COVID, but it's just about the fact that, all of these people came to watch this movie, experience this storytelling, escape into this fantasy world, even though it was based off a true story. And whether it's a fiction or non-fictional movie, that is what's awesome. Storytelling brings people together. And also, people have the capacity to tell stories. Every single person on this earth. And those stories have the potential to move people, to inspire people, to shake up their lives, to take you away into worlds, into fantasies that you've never been before, and feel good, feel sad, feel angry, feel all the emotions. And that is why I do what I do. For me, the most important thing in my life, other than being a creative, is helping people, being a good family member, being a good partner. I love giving my time and energy to others so that they can better their lives and better themselves. And that's what I want this show to be about. There's a lot going on right now. I'm leaving for Costa Rica in 2 days. And so we're trying to sort of get everything packed and get ready for that. My girlfriend and I. So that's on my mind. It's 9:00 at night, and I still need to go upstairs and sort of pack more clothes and make sure I'm checking everything off the list that I'm ready, so that I'm ready for the trip. It's the second time I've ever left the country. For the first time ever, I got a passport last year, went to Quebec, which I guess doesn't really count for some of you, but Costa Rica will be the first, out of the U.S., off this technical continent, even though it's South America. I should learn geography. Anyhow, it'll be the first, super non-English speaking exotic trip. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm super excited about it. I'm also terrified, but I know it's going to be fun. We're going to have a really good time. So I'm going to take my camera and my drone. Hopefully I get some good photos and videos without getting that stolen. And I've also not been on a vacation in, I don't know how long. It's been years, a legitimate vacation. So I'm really excited about that. Something that I'm going to try to start doing for these episodes too is sharing music, and whether it be a song of the day or maybe making a playlist that I can add music to, and the guests at that time can add music to, of the stuff that we're listening to at that time, for everyone to share and listen to, and sort of get a little bit of a look or a feel inside the mind of what I'm doing and where I'm at. Music is so important to my life. It's a huge proponent of how I get through day to day, and music, like I said before, is another form of storytelling, and that's what we're here to do. So with that being said, I'm going to share a song of the day, and I think it comes from the spirit of going to Costa Rica and having a good time and trying to feel good about the world and what we're doing. And it comes from a friend of mine who goes by the name Chrome Cable. That song is called Good Time. I know you're going to like it. Easy listening, good vibes. It's about having a good time. So I will leave you with that. Again, everybody, thank you so much for listening, coming along for this ride. I hope that you will continue to listen and watch the show and share it with everybody and subscribe, and keep in touch. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I can make this show better, what you think you'd want to hear or who you'd want to listen to. I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, follow us on all of our social pages at The Pursuit of What on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure to check us out on Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you are using or listening, or whatever it is that you're doing. I'm not really sure what I'm saying, but this is the end of the episode. I need to go finish packing. I've been talking way too long. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon. Have a great week. Have a great day. This is The Pursuit of What, and we'll see you on the next episode.
I don't got a chance. I wanna tell you no, but I know that I can. That's what you do to this man. Not known to be a fool, but with you I am. Yeah, I gotta lose.